What's going on, Dolphins fans? It's Connor from the Dolphins Dive, and it was just announced the Miami Dolphins are hiring Anthony Weaver as our new defensive coordinator. Weaver is a former defensive line coach and assistant head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I think this was a good hire, and I'm here to break it all down now. So before I hop into today's video, it would mean the world to me if you'd like the video and subscribe to help the channel grow. But without further ado, I'm going to break down Anthony Weaver. Like I mentioned, former defensive line coach and assistant head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Weaver was a former player. I know he played for the Ravens. I don't know where else he played, but now he's been in the coaching game for quite some time with multiple stops from Cleveland Browns, which he coached with Mike McDaniel at, Buffalo Bills, Jets, all his defensive line coach, Texans as well. Then made his last stop with the Ravens. Got some head coaching opportunities this offseason, didn't get hired, and is now landed as the Dolphins defensive coordinator. Now, it's not yet clear what scheme he's going to bring. I'm going to guess it's going to be some combination of what the Dolphins just recently ran and what the Ravens just ran, which are kind of similar. They're similar in the fact that both are two high defenses, meaning there's going to be a lot of two safeties back, even on early downs, a lot of coverage, trying to confuse the quarterback rather than some other kind of styles. So a lot of disguise, heavy coverage defenses rather than what we've seen before with like cover zero and whatnot. But the Ravens also had a different philosophy, so it's not going to be the exact copycat of what Vic Fangio did. So it should be interesting to see that. We'll get more information throughout his press conferences, but I really like this hire. Obviously, a big key point of the departure with Vic Fangio was that there's kind of a disconnect between him and the players. I think Anthony Weaver is that answer. Obviously, being a former player himself, being 43 years old, he checks the box of being young. He's going to be able to be interactive with the players and be relatable. I've heard some clips coming out of him. He speaks extremely well. He's going to be a phenomenal leader. So that's what you want to see. You're not going to have to send Campanelli up to lead the room. You'll be able to send him up as well. But I hope Weaver does retain some of the staff, and I'm sure Mike McDaniel will probably be more leading in terms of like, now this is his guy. In terms of like, obviously he picked Vic Fangio, but it's hard to kind of boss somebody who's way older than you and has all this experience. But like now I think McDaniel's going to be the total boss of the football team. Obviously Weaver's going to run the defense, but I think he'll probably tell Weaver to keep Campanelli, keep Austin Clark, which I really hope, as well as Ryan Slowick, as well as outside linebackers coach. So keep our good defensive coaches, let him hire his other guys, and really build up this defense. But I like that he can be able to relate with the players. He's already a blossoming head coach candidate, so that goes to show about his character. And like I said, the clips I've seen from QB Collective and hearing him speak about how organizations should be run and whatnot, and hearing him talk about, I believe, toughness, like he just sounds like a tremendous leader. And if he can bring over what the Ravens did defensively, schematically, the sky's the limit for this defense, as the Ravens were the best defense in all of football this past year. So I'm excited to see what he brings. Like I said, there's not full clarity on the kind of scheme he's going to run, but I'm going to guess it's going to be similar to what we saw with Fangio and what the Ravens ran. It's going to be a base odd front defense, so like a 3-4 with a lot of too high and disguising coverages. At the end of the day, I think that's how it's going to be. So once again, I'm excited to see his press conferences and more information come out, but he seems like a blossoming coach in this league, and it's not going to be long, it seems. Especially John Harbaugh, who's one of the best coaches in the NFL, had some glowing words about him and saying he should have been hired as a head coach this cycle. So being an assistant head coach as well and having D-line coaches with very good D-lines in his past, I think he's a great candidate. Don't have the most information on him, but excited to see what happens. Comment your thoughts down below on Anthony Weaver. Are you happy with the hire? Are you not happy with the hire? Who would you like to see the Dolphins hire? But I'll keep you guys posted with more updates I get on Anthony Weaver. But until then, I'm going to check out, like the video, and until next time, fins up.